So, hi everybody, Philip Wade here from the Universal Studio in North Yorkshire in England, and wherever you are in the world and whether you celebrate Christmas or not, I just want to send you infinite love and blessings for this day, marking Christmas as we know it in this part of the world at least. And just wanted to really talk today a little bit. It's actually a follow-up from our stream I did just recently on the solstice, which was called New World Symphony, which is the title that emerged in me, and an insight emerged in me about the transitions that we're facing at this time. Even though 2020 has been a year really for many people of considerable suffering really, but what struck me about it is that suffering that has really come to the surface this year was really speaking already under the surface, and the events of the year have really brought that to the surface for so many people, millions, indeed billions of people around the globe. So I just want to say a quick hello to everybody wherever you are. I know particularly here in the UK that you could be in some very difficult or strange circumstances right now. Some of you may have seen with the new strain of COVID-19 that was identified, that ended up all our borders being closed, including the border to France, and there was miles upon miles of lorry drivers stuck, and those lorry drivers are obviously delivering goods to us all around Europe and the UK, and I suspect some of those are still there, and I feel quite sorry for them, and just want to send out love to people in those situations. Maybe you're home alone as a result of the things with COVID-19. So deep love to everybody, no matter what your circumstances, no matter where you are. This time of year tends to accentuate, as we know, often associated with the time of family. But if you can't be with family, then that makes it very, very difficult and accentuates that situation for you. And so a lot of people may be feeling out of sorts, sad, lonely, unhappy, or whatever is going on for you. So just let's spend this time together now as a time to connect with the true essence of who we really are. That's beyond and before all of this human experience, and yet it is the source of it. I think for me, what came to me just before this, as I was setting up, and I had a slight delay there, which is why I was a bit confused when it first came on, because I'd taken out something, piece of kit, and I wondered why it wasn't playing properly. Anyhow, sorted that out. The true miracle of Christmas, the true miracle of Christmas is in truth the miracle that you are. Let me say that again. The true miracle of Christmas is the miracle that you are. And that's not just your body, as beautiful as a gift that is from life to life, and we are all life. But there's that which gives birth to, and that is beyond the form, the body, mind, and being. This is the source of the miracle, and the whole message of life, and the one that ended up being called Christ, Jesus Christ, if you want to give it that, his name in the West. His message, the message of the Buddha, the message of the first yogi, the message of mystics over the millennia, is exactly the same. That which they have realized, come to know, come to realize in their living. I'm not sure whether you could hear me, so I've just unmuted myself. I'm gonna just Yeah, okay, looks like people can hear me. And it is indeed, yes, I've just seen a comment pop up. The message of Muhammad too, exactly. So whether it's Christ, Muhammad, Buddha, Krishna, more contemporary mystics, Muhammad, any being that has realized the nature. Good, thank you. I'm glad that we've had that confirmation, because I was getting a message to say the mic wasn't working. So good. So the message of any realized being is that you are this also. And this really is the gift of life, from life to life. And it is for that reason that you are here now in this body, in this form, to realize this. And although 2020 has probably turned out vastly different to really anybody's possible imaginings as to what might unfold, and there's been a considerable amount of suffering beyond that, there is a deep invitation within that experience for us to look at what it is that's at the root cause of that suffering. Whether that's loneliness, you're feeling pain, uncomfortable, difficult emotions, and so forth. There is something here, an awareness that is untouched, unmoved, and unblemished by it all. And this is the true miracle that I'm pointing out when I was saying the true miracle of Christmas is the miracle that you are. The true miracle of Christmas is the miracle that you are. It does look like the early part of my thing does missing. So wherever you are in the world, I just want to send you the blessings of infinite silence. And I would like to do just a little exercise with you here now that will guide us into the meditation. And just whilst you're looking at the screen, and maybe if there's other distractions around, just pause for a moment and just connect with me through my eyes here. and have no expectation or judgment about what's here now, whether you're feeling any emotions, sensations. Just let perceiving happen. It is happening naturally anyway. Just simply be present. And if you need a point of focus, just focus on my eyes. And just simply be present and let perceiving happen. Nothing for you to do. Just rest here. And simply notice that all phenomena, feelings, sensations, emotions are occurring without any effort, and they're just all being watched. And if you're like now, just going to invite you just to close your eyes for a moment. Just close your eyes for a moment and ask this question inside. Who am I? Who am I? And just be with that for a few moments. And just see what comes as that question is asked. And if anybody wants to share that, they can pop that in the comments. And whilst we're just waiting for that, when I share that with a group of people, whether it's online here or in a group, the answers that people get can vary from identification with the body, mind, I am a woman or a man with this job or story or my role as a mother or father, through to some kind of opening or an awareness that there is something deeper. They may use a word like love. And we can take the exercise a bit further to help us see it a bit deeper. So just closing your eyes again. Now asking the question inside. Who am I without memory? Who am I without memory? And just be with that one. And you can open your eyes again now if if you want. And I've just seen that somebody's, and I'm not sure if it was in relation to the first or the second question, but it doesn't really matter. Selena has written, I am energy, vibration and consciousness. And then Jolene has written, I got a kind of feeling of excitement in my chest that wasn't there before I asked the question. Now what Selena's sharing there is actually really quite an accurate pointing, because what we've done there is taken the normal process that the minds go through, which is goes to memory and identification with the form, and we start to move into a deeper awareness, a recognition that actually that which we are not only is consciousness, as Selena's said in one of her words there, actually it's infinite consciousness or infinite silence or infinite awareness or life itself or the true self, or if you want to use the word, and I'm conscious the word can be loaded, is one with that which we call God. We're not separate from it. It's like a diamond, you see. Our bodies are like a facet of a diamond. But we are one. The facet is not separate from the diamond. The facet is not separate from the diamond, and the luminosity of the diamond comes from within. And Selena's now added there, I can see, loving awareness, which is getting more and more accurate. In fact, this awareness, this energy of infinite silence, which is an infinite field of energy, is in fact the source of love and peace. And all of the suffering that we've particularly felt this year, many billions of people, it would be accurate to say, at some point this year, have felt this year. All of that ultimately arises from what I call a case of mistaken, the case of mistaken identity. The identification with the limitations of the form, the body, mind, and the human experience. There's nothing wrong with the human experience, but it is limited in its capacity in relation to the totality. So yes, Selena, we truly are all one, and that one is infinite awareness or infinite consciousness. And that is the true miracle of Christmas. That's why you are here, to realize this experientially. And when you can see that all of the suffering, particularly troublesome emotions, are like waves, they come, they rise, and they pass. And if you allow them to do that without judgment, they'll gradually fade away. And that which sees that, can report that, witness that, and is untouched and unblemished by it, is that infinite awareness. It's that was the message of the Christ, the message of Muhammad, the message of Krishna, the message of the Buddha, the message of the first yogi, and endless contemporary mystics. And that realization is here for us all. And if I was to offer you an insight as to truly what this is all about, and particularly all of this that's arisen in 2020 and all the suffering that's come to the surface, is for all of that to be seen and ultimately dissolved, and see that you are untouched and unblemished by it. And the you that I'm referring to isn't you, the body, but is this as awareness. And the purpose of those Who Am I questions exercise, whether you found the first one easier or the second one, usually, interestingly, most people find the second one easier. But it can be either way, it doesn't really matter. The purpose of that is for you to start to recognise there's something beyond the form, beyond the physical, that's the animating principle. And it's that that's the gift of life, and it's that that's the ultimate miracle. Okay, Kate, this is a great thing you've just written there, Kate Thorday or Thoday. I've struggled a bit with the Who Am I Without Memory question. I just felt a bit blank, like having no identity. Now this, Kate, is actually a great awareness that you've just jotted down there, like having no identity. You see, because we're so identified with the form and the mind, the mind will struggle with that because its whole existence is built upon an identity as the body-mind. You know, I am a woman with this story and so forth. Yet that which you are is actually identity-less. It has no identity. Now this, the mind doesn't like, because what it means, its days in control are numbered. And so it will kind of fight that or resist that a bit. But actually this identitylessness is actually unblemished and untouched, infinite awareness, an infinite field of energy. And yet it's still expressed in your form as Kate, because it's chosen to have the experience of being in the form of Kate. So there's nothing wrong with that. Actually, it's a very beautiful gift from life to life. But that which is animating the whole experience of life is the one that actually has no identity. It is identityless. It is the true, oneness. So when it is said in spiritual traditions, we are all one, it is this infinite awareness that is no thing, and thus it's infinite. It's this that we are seeking, and it is this that is the realization of the one that was called Christ, or the Buddha, or Muhammad, or the first yogi, and many, many, many other people since. And interestingly, having been sharing this message for some years now, I see transitions taking place all over the world. And there's more and more people waking up to this truth. And this truth that I'm pointing at doesn't require you to believe anything that I say about it. You see, because this is infinite and there's nothing outside of it. And belief is something that's beyond your experience. And so you have to have the energy of belief. And yet, this is infinite, and so there can't be a need to believe in that which is infinite. One cannot be separate from the infinite. What could be separate from the infinite? In an infinite universe, how could we be separate from it? In fact, we are one with it, and yet we are an expression of it, these forms. Our forms are vehicles for that universe to express and experience itself, to come to know itself in its own experience. This is the true miracle of Christmas. This is the true miracle of Christmas, to realize this, to drop the story. It's not that the story was wrong, but realize there's something much, much bigger and more important here now. And that we collectively, all are this. And it doesn't require you to believe me or that which you perceive to be me, the man Philip. Yes, there is this form here, it's called Philip. But the insight that's being offered from here is not personal. It comes from the knowing, the realization that flowered, that went, oh my gosh, I am that, and that being the infinite awareness or the infinite silence or the infinite consciousness or true self. We are all that. All of us, that. Well, so I'm glad that clarified it for you, Kate. Jolene saying, for those of us who have touched upon this place within, is there anything we can do to remain in that space? So this is an important question that Jolene's asked there. And many people have touched this and then have the experience of, shall we say, it appears like they may have lost it. It's that there was such a deep peace and deep presence and so forth. And then maybe mind kicks back in and it appears to the mind that it's been lost. Actually, in truth, there's never been a time, and there never will be a time when you are not this. And so, in truth, there isn't actually anything one can physically do to strive or reach towards this. The subtlety of it is to be totally open to the realization that's within, that one is already this. And what that requires is trust in this awareness. And it's for this reason the mystics over the millennia have recommended things like meditation and spiritual inquiry. And the reason for that is that meditation starts as a practice, something that you sit down or lie down and do, and ends as a realization. Ends as a realization. And the realization is that you too, albeit expressed in this form, are in fact that which is being sought. So meditation starts as a doing and ends as a realization. And that's why mystics have recommended meditation, because what it does is it moves you before and beyond the mind. So the purpose of all spiritual practice is so that you don't have to. And what I mean by that is don't have to practice at being who you really are. You are already this. Already this. So we go on a journey of trusting, taking baby steps. And the highest form of trust is the knowing, the realization, we are this. So that's the response to Jolene's question. I'm glad that this is resonating with you, Abu. So thank you for sharing that lovely comment there, and goodbye to you. It sounds like you need to go off and do something else, so that's fine. It's always available on replay. Selena saying, finally the duality of difference has ceased. What a beautiful Christmas present. The reality is truth. I am a universe in our universe. Beautiful. That is so beautiful, Selena. Thank you for sharing that. And it sounds like a massive aha moment or awareness has arisen for you there. And I would just like to reinforce for you and for everyone, and I'm sure that this is part of your seeing now, there's never been a time and there never will be a time when you're not this. And even if mind can kick back in, and it will tend to want to do that, simply, and that's the purpose of the Who Am I exercise, come back to the one that is seeing, witnessing, recognizing, observing, and is untouched by all of the appearances, all of the phenomena. It is that one that you are seeking, and it is that one that you already are. And this was the message of the Christ and any number of realized beings. Any number of realized beings. Simply that. Simply that. To recognize and realize that which is already present. What's Beth saying? Thank you, Jolene. I feel on the road then farm life steps in, physical and dirty. Right now I'm covered with mud and it's hard to hang on to being this. And I can understand exactly what you're pointing at there, Beth, because it does feel like that when you look at it from identification with the storyline that's going on up here. And we do feel touched by life in the ways that you're describing. Yet, despite the appearance of all that mud on the road, so to speak, inside, and by inside I mean the inner infinite directions, the inner infinite dimensions, that is always untouched by it. And things like the Who Am I exercise and meditation is to invite you, Beth, to realize, and this might sound a bit strange in the context of your sentence there, there's nothing for you to hang on to. There's nothing for you to hang on to. You see, mind will always be reaching, striving, searching, trying to find something that appears to be lost, and ultimately it will be never satisfied. It will never be satiated. It is in the hanging on, the striving and the reaching that we suffer. It is in the accepting, the embracing, the witnessing that all of the noise, the muck, the dirt, simply and effortlessly falls away. Simply and effortlessly falls away. And as that seeing of that arises, there can still be baggage, emotional baggage from our past that will appear. But now we're in a completely different place, a place of seeing, and remaining as that observational, non-judgmental, untouched, unblemished awareness. All of that noise gradually and effortlessly dissipates. So I hope that's helping you a little bit. I'm going to go to a meditation shortly when I've responded to these other comments. The beauty that you are seeking, Beth, is the beauty that you already are. Mind will never accept this. Your heart, however, already knows. Your heart, however, already knows. Selena saying beautiful, and it does automatically wants to think in the past. What have I learned to unlearn? Beautiful. Thank you so very much, Philip. Glorious. Good. So I'm glad you're seeing that deeply, Selena. I'm glad you're seeing that deeply. Sunset is saying, I'm anxious and energetic about what is to come. I'm trying hard not to expect great things as I'm worried, but don't feel impending zoom, or is it doom you mean? I'm not sure. I feel great things are coming if I let them. Sunset, that last sentence is the most crucial. That last sentence is the most crucial. Not only are great things coming, actually this awareness that I'm talking about now is here now, and it is that which you are. It's not about believing that which you perceive to be me to be true. It's about realizing and trusting the inner knowing. So the key for you, Sunset, is to trust. Let go of expectation. You see, 2020, we may have all come into 2020 with hopes, expectations about how it might transpire. I could even say in this beautiful space I'm broadcasting here now, which was only completed the back end of the year before. It's a beautiful pyramidal space. It's been shared with about 20 people so far. It's purpose built for this type of arrangement. We've hardly had a chance to share it when we had lockdown. It didn't turn out as, should we say, as we'd imagined it might have been. But actually, as it's turned out from our perspective, and our life here has been very different to many, it's actually been a year of integration and embracing the space. I know a lot of people have had it a lot tougher than not being able to use a space. But hope and expectation are keystones in suffering. So with this, we let go of, this sounds strange, but bear with it, folks. Let go of hope. Let go of expectation and replace them with trust. Trust in the inner knowing. And that trust will become a journey. You will experience trust as a journey. And you will eventually come to the highest form of trust, which is not having to trust at all. It is the knowing. It is the realizing of the self. So your last sentence, Sunset, is the most important. Trust that which you are seeking is already here. And Beth is confirming that she's feeling the mud becoming irrelevant, and that's perfect. And that's a recognition, Beth, of you trusting the untouched and unblemished presence. So that now has become experiential, and you can trust that. You can trust that. So with that, what I'd like to do now with these insights I've been sharing is to integrate all that and take you all on maybe a 15-minute infinite silence meditation. And I call it the infinite silence meditation because that's the name it chose, this awareness, to give to itself. And it emerged in two phases of realization. First in 2011, second and completion, if you like, in 2014 of the realization, that is. And it's a very, very powerful meditation, different from many, 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 many meditations you'll find out there. And the reason for that is awareness based. It's not mind based. So what I'm going to invite you to do now is to close your eyes. And just as you close your eyes, just simply notice the feelings, any emotions, sensations, the breath. Just simply and silently observing your body. Just noticing that which is present here, now, without any judgment. Just simply accepting, like you're watching a movie from the inside. And as these phenomena are simply and silently watched, observed, just be open from your heart to the experience of spheres of light. Nothing you need to do, just be open to the experience of spheres of light. This energy I call spheres of light is the same as the pure, universal state I am. I am the pure, universal I amness. And this can be sensed or witnessed. Know now that because this can be sensed or witnessed, it can only be seen from the deeper awareness that I call the silent witness in infinite silence. Your attention merging with this silent witness that sees the state I am, the universal I am, pure being. And this silent witness is like some ice. And it's dissolving, melting in an ocean of water, becoming one with the water. And the water is actually an ocean of infinite silence, infinite stillness. And you are melting, merging, becoming one with this ocean of infinite silence. Just silently, effortlessly, one with this, being open to this, in silence we trust. In silence, you will realize your truth. In truth, you will realize you are silence, infinite silence. Infinite awareness. Be still and know. One is this, always this, never not this, infinite silence. Be still and know. This rarefied atmosphere of silence transforms, transmutes, dissolves the case of mistaken identity. Opening to the realization that you, we, all is life eternal. now, and forever. This is the miracle. And you, non-personal, are it. Always. Be still and know. This presence, the realization of this is why this form that you have is here now to come to realize, to know oneself in one's own experience, that one is life eternal. The miracle of Christmas realized. What greater gift from life to life for life than this? Be still and know. Resting in this, as this, always. And in a moment, I'll ring these tingsha bells 3 times. Just keep your eyes closed for now. And as the sound of the tingsha bells has faded away, resting in this space, as this space beyond space, aware of your body, the chair, or whatever you may be lay on. Knowing this untouched, unblemished awareness that is infinite silence, infinite consciousness, infinite stillness, is that which you are always. Namaste. 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 This is what coming home for Christmas is truly about. And it doesn't require you to believe me. So many blessings. I've just put a link on there, which is a link to something that's called a New World Symphony. And it's a live that I did on the solstice, based on the unfolding events that are emerging and what life is inviting us to embrace right now, notwithstanding the suffering that's been experienced, particularly this year. And so wherever you are right now, whether you're in a lorry sat on waiting to get a ferry across to France, or whether you're on the other side of the globe in Australia or New Zealand, or in the far east from here or the far west from here, or right up in the North Pole or the South Pole, life would like you to know that you are life eternal. And that's why you are here, to realize this, coming home for Christmas. So I'm just going to have a look if there's any more comments. Jolene saying, wonderful, thank you, Philip, and to your lovely wife, Sue, not only for spending time with us on Christmas Day, but for the hundreds of free hours you give to the world in name of love and peace. Thank you, Jolene, that's a delight. My life is dedicated to this message and has been for the last 10 years, I suppose, really. It doesn't require you to believe anything that I've said, but if you can be open to this, then you will see, you will realize this for yourself. And I can see that quite a few people, Selena, Sunset and Kate and various other people, have had some degree of aha moments today. And so I invite you to keep going. And for those that might be interested, I've just remembered, I had a last minute call to do an online retreat for the new year. And I'm going to send out the details of that tomorrow. It's from the 1st to the 3rd of January. It'll be over 3 days. We'll probably start off with about a 1.5 hour session on the 1st, and then 2 times 1.5 hour sessions with gaps in between on the 2nd and 3rd, which will be a combination of meditation and spiritual inquiry. So you can ask your questions directly to me. It's going to be to a limited group on Zoom. If anybody feels called to that, then you need to put your name in the comments, and I can reply with a booking link once it's available, which it isn't at the moment because I haven't set it up. So if you've called to that, feel free. You will know in your heart if that resonates with you or not. But whatever you do, wherever you're going, whatever you are right now, know that life is calling you back to life, to realize this, that there is that which is untouched and unblemished and unmoved by the suffering. And to realize that is the greatest gift of life to life, for life, from life. It's as simple as that. Can you trust life to lead you back to life? What I'm going to do now, just to see if there's before there's any final comments or questions, I'm going to play the harp intro that I did for a couple of minutes again, and whilst that's playing, if there's anything else that anybody wants to pop on the comments, they can do, and I'll come back quickly after that just to see if there's anything else and say goodbye. So enjoy this harp track. It lasts a couple of minutes and I'll check back in after this. So thank you for listening today, taking time out of your Christmas day, whatever it is you're doing, wherever you are in the world. May life lead you back to life and the realization of life. It's for this reason that you're here, and it doesn't require you to believe me. So I'm going to rejoin my wife now and have a relaxing evening. I have no idea what we've got planned, but we'll see what unfolds, and look forward to seeing you, perhaps more of you, on future live streams. Do feel free to share any of this material. My page is here, Philip Wade, Infinite Silence Self-Realization, YouTube channel, website, an absolutely stupendous amount of free spiritual self-realization resources. And as I say, if anybody's called to the New Year retreat, just let me know. But other than that, Merry Christmas and a blessed New Year and a blessed realization of this. Bye now.